Hi guys, today I'm going to take you in behind the screens of one of my strategy sessions. So what we do in a strategy session is work on ways that we can make your business, your website more profitable. So bringing in more customers, making you more money, and making all of the leads that you're actually bringing in convert better. So we're going to be talking things like increasing your search engine rankings, improving your website to make sure that it's really customer friendly, super easy to use, and converting. At the end of the day, we're all in business to get to a point of freedom, whether that be financial, location, time freedom. But all of that actually revolves around us selling our product and getting our business out there. So we're going to jump in today, and Blake is a good friend of mine, runs Envious Car Care up in Newcastle. Shout out if you need a car detailer in Newcastle. This guy makes cars look spectacular. Blake's been having a bit of trouble he's recently changed his website, so about 6 months ago changed his website, and he's spending a lot of money on Google AdWords as far as his main advertising. What we're going to do today is actually do a bit of a breakdown of his website and what we can do to improve it, general tips that will actually boost rankings in search engines as well, and ways that it's going to actually improve customer experience and keep customers coming to him and eventually hiring him. We're also going to go through different options as far as advertising, ways that the service can be marketed better to reach more people, whether that's using social media. I did speak to Blake last week about incorporating a blog, which is exciting, which he's already started to take some moves on. So that's going to be something for him to actually work on and grow through his website as well. So we're going to jump in now, and as you can see on my screen behind me, this is Blake's current website. Now this is what comes up as the home page. First things first is we've got the URL up here is newcastlepremiumdetailing.com.au. Fantastic URL for the website. Says straight away what Blake does for a living. A premium detailing service, premium cars, that's what you're thinking in your head. High-end cars, high-end service. Can be construed sometimes as high-end price. I personally know that Blake's not that badly priced. So that's something that we need to address and make sure that his customers aren't thinking, oh, this is premium, it's going to cost me more, whether that's going to be a factor in their buying process as well. So first off, we've got this title here. I would actually use this as a great way to reiterate that premium detailing, possibly changing this to Envious Car Care, premium car detailing, making Newcastle shine since 2010. Giving that a heading tag, which if I double check this now, this isn't actually a H1 tag. So big thing here is when you're building a website, if you're doing it yourself, making sure that you have got use of the H1, H2 and H3 tags. They're generally you'll get a text editor on your website builder. If you're using WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, anything like that, they've all got them. What you can actually do is select H1 from that, and that actually marks that text as very important. So Google sees that, reads that it's very important, and relates that back to your URL and your page content and your images, and ranks how relevant you are for a search. So if someone is actually searching for Newcastle premium detailing, sure, you're going to come up great because it's in the URL, but having these things, it will actually grow that for other things. So you can be coming up for Newcastle car detailing. Without that premium, people can just see you and compare work to work. So they don't need to be looking for specifically that word, but having those words in the H1 tags is going to give you a big bump in relevance. I actually really like this. I think it's quite cool, it's quite clever. Want shine feeling dirty, want that new car feeling without the new car price tag. it says what a customer wants to hear. Who doesn't want a new car feeling without the new car price tag? Everyone does. As far as text, I would recommend actually adding a bit more in here. Great story. It's a great place to actually boost what you're doing. So I would look at possibly including links to services in here. Possibly, again, in putting a contact form could be an option as well. If someone sees that Tesla there and says, wow, that's amazing, I want to book you straight away, they've actually got that option there. So that could be something to look at. I would definitely, as a minimum, be putting the services link on there though, so that you don't have to be looking up here as well, because you're naturally going to go down that page. So having it down here, as you can see on my screen, I don't have the menu there anymore. By having that down the bottom here, I could still click straight through to the services there, which would be phenomenal. We've got the social media down here. One thing, if you're looking to expand on social media, could be a potential market for Instagram. With the photos, I personally have a boyfriend who gets very excited when he's waiting for his car to be cleaned and wants to know how his precious car looks. So those snippets on Instagram could be a great way to get your name out there as well. Tagging, using a hashtag Newcastle Premium Detailing, Newcastle Car Care, things like that. You could actually find a new market on Instagram as well. Would take a little bit of extra work, but if you're anything like me, your phone is always within easy reach. Instagram's nice and easy. You've usually got your photos on your phone anyway, so uploading them there could be a great way to actually target a different market as well. Great having the contact details straight down the bottom. I know exactly where to get a hold of Blake, so that's great. Definitely though, I would also look at removing this sidebar, which I did actually notice when you click on the home from this way. I actually prefer this layout without that sidebar. So I think that's just a setting in Squarespace to show there. What I would do, definitely have extra on there. Pad out that text. The text is the main way that a search engine is actually going to be able to find what's relevant to your site. So having more text and keeping that relevant becomes better accessible for Google. The other thing that I noticed is I would love to see these click through to a case study. I personally think this car is gorgeous. I kind of want to know what you did, how you did it, before and after pictures, anything like that. Before and afters, especially when you're buying something like this, you're at a higher price point, so you want to see a return and what's going to actually change. For me personally, I don't know what a level of paint correction would be for my car, so I would have to ask you. And not being sure of that, being a girl, I'd be hesitant. That's my personal thing. But I would love to see these link into more photos of the cars and seeing how beautiful they came up. I think that's a great way to actually get that trust and reputation from your website. Because one thing that I didn't see on here is if I duck into the services page, and looking at those case studies would be phenomenal content for your blog. Having like these pictures are amazing. That car is absolutely gorgeous as far as it looks brand new. So one thing that I would like to see would be something more like this, and having the before and afters. I would probably look at putting those side by side, so that combining that into one image in Photoshop or something like that. There's apps on your phone that you can edit photos and collage them side by side. That way you can actually see the before and after straight rather than scrolling up and down. So that's one thing that I'd look at doing there. I would also build out this service page into multiple pages, so having a drop down on the services would be phenomenal, having the different options. That will give you a bit more room as well, as far as looking at pre-sale details could have their own separate page. where you've got that separate page, you can actually look at targeting your rankings and your relevance to that one particular product. So having a bit of a story, customers that have managed to sell their car for more after they've had a detail done, the difference it's going to make to buying, the difference it's going to make to your photos, having that information, and someone who's at a point where they want to sell their car knowing that this is actually going to be better. And again, this could be looking at maybe doing advertising, targeting something like sell your car online, things like that. You could actually look at a pre-sale detail ad specifically for that, which would be a great place to actually lead on to that pre-sale detail web page that you've got, because it will actually give you another keyword here. So for example, you could have pre-sale car detail as the actual name. So again, you've got premium detailing in the URL, which is fantastic. Then you've got it targeted down to a specific service, which is going to give you more relevance if someone's specifically searching for a pre-sale car detail, which you don't have at the moment because it's all on one page. So a pre-sale detail is kind of thrown in with the premium. I would actually have a spiel for that, have the before and afters, possibly even do a mock-up of a car that's come in and after it's been sold, whether it's doing it yourself, a picture of like a for sale sign on the back window of a car, and then versus it all clean and shiny and beautiful, and that same one, it's going to obviously get more money, sell quicker. These are the pain points that you want to address on that one. So another thing that for me personally, and I'm in your general market, but I wouldn't be in the target market, would be to actually include the level of damage. So I would be looking at down here, your paint protection. My car is full of swirls. It drives me mental, so I would love to see it come back as a new car. But for me, I don't know what level I would be at. So whether I would need a full paint correction or an enhancement detail, or what, actually explaining what each one is. I know what I'm getting in there, but for someone who's not completely comfortable with that concept and what that is, I would love to see a before and after shot, a little bit more detail about what state my car would be in first and how it would come out. I think that's another way to show your capabilities and make people comfortable before they buy. So I would definitely look at that. Another thing that is really obvious to me at the moment is this menu bar disappears. So where we had it up on the black up here, which looks great, really easy to see. Once I get down onto the white, I can no longer see that, and it's actually taking a while to load up as well. So it's only at that point that it actually comes back. So I would either look at keeping that black and keeping it static on top. Not sure whether that's something that you can do in Squarespace, but I'm assuming that there's some way to actually change that background. Another thing, just a personal preference, I would possibly look at removing this grey background on here, or making that entire bar grey so that that all is seamless. That's me, just a personal preference. Another thing that I would have here, again, H1 tags through here, looking at with a range of car detailing packages suited to every car, bike or boat's need. Give your car a little or a lot of envious loving. I love the incorporating of the brand through the tags. I think that's phenomenal. It gives a little bit of character to the page as well. One thing that I would do is have a big button here with contact us, find out more, anything like that, an actual call to action, rather than letting me get to the bottom, and once I get to the bottom there's a phone number there. But I would love a big obvious button, book me now, take them straight into your contact form, get their details, and go from there. I think that would do wonders, because basically we want to make your customer not really think anymore. It's straightforward, bam, bam, bam. So homepage, services down the bottom, contact me, done, sold. They're going to send through those details. They've got an idea of prices. They've got an idea of what you do. Let them just book straight in. Another thing that I would have here, personally, I know what Opticoat is. I have a car-obsessed boyfriend, so that helps. I would look at having that maybe convert to something like, we'll let that load up, possibly having that as number one aftermarket paint protection system, something like that. Opticoat leaves it as a very general, if you know what it is, you know what it is. So looking at even number one paint protection, that you can actually link that back. Again, H1 tags through here. And I would possibly look at making that more like the other pages, where it's got that little bit of cheekiness with the Envious character back. Possibly looking at that would be one thing, but I actually really like this page. I love the videos here of the before and afters. I graffiti on a car and it comes off. Love it. The videos are fantastic. I also love this. Having this contact form here, I think that should definitely be on all of the service pages, so that you can actually just see straight out, this is how it works, contact me and get in touch. So I would be putting that on all of the service pages as well. I would also look at, on the home page, possibly doing the products that you're using. You are looking at expensive cars, guys that really, really like their cars, or girls that just want to get that new car feeling and want to love their car again. I know for me, as soon as it gets dirty, I don't love it as much. I would love to have it all shiny and free of imperfections, and I think that's what every girl wants to know. As far as your products though, you're using high-end products and getting a high-end result from it. So I would look at maybe putting in images, the Opticoat logo down the bottom here. The different products that you're using down the bottom here could be a really good way to do it. The blog, I know isn't there yet, but I would love to see on that some case studies. So writing a little bit of a story. I know that if I open this Facebook up, I know personally that Blake does a lot of posts on Facebook with how the car's turned up, and I know that pretty much every guy that sees his picture on Facebook gets really excited, wants to share it with his friends. It's a great way to actually share that information on Facebook. But what I would look at possibly doing here was having one picture on Facebook and then actually linking it back to the blog. So having these extra pictures, having before and after pictures is fantastic, because you can again see that glaringly obvious, okay, that looks like a new car, but what did it look like before? I want to know that there's a massive difference, and I know personally there's a massive difference, but seeing that in photos gives someone who hasn't seen your work a really good indication of what's going on. And this applies to all businesses where you're doing something like this. Before and after case studies, they're phenomenal. People love them. They want to know that you care. They want to know that you are really good at what you do. So show them. Brag. Go for it. We all want to see it. Go nuts and brag your heart out. So I would put these pictures over on the blog as well and link that back to your website. That's going to give you more social proof as well. The more times that guy whose car that is actually shares that image on Facebook, the more times your website is being shared. So boost your engagement up heaps, and we love that. That's all that Google's about. Fresh content, which your blog is covering, because you're updating as you're doing new work, you're updating the blog. So it's got fresh content, you've got social proof, you've got all of the requirements that Google wants to actually bump you up in there as well. So I would definitely be doing that. Again, show your passion about the cars that you're working on. You get a fancy car come in and you think, oh my God, these boys fall over this. Put it on your blog. It actually, each time you write a blog post, it's actually doing, again, like having the different services page, it's actually giving you more pages for Google. The more pages, the better. It's all relevance. Google loves it. It's phenomenal. And you're doing everything correctly for Google. So where we used to have, it was so easy, you could keyword stuff and you could get to the top of Google without any problems. No one could read your website, or there'd be piles and piles of text under your footer or something stupid like that. But it worked. So it was nice and easy. Google's become a lot cleverer over the last few years and has taken all these sneaky little things and said, right, if you do that, you're not getting in Google. So there's lots of ways though that you can actually create that yourself. I would then also, you can take that photo, share that on Instagram as well at the same time, link Instagram back to your web page as well. It's another way to go about it too. So there's lots and lots of stuff. Another thing that you could possibly look at doing would be doing some behind the scenes video, showing even YouTube's a fantastic market as well, especially for guys who want to look after their cars. There's lots and lots of videos. Do a snippet on how to keep your Opticoat clean, how to wash your car in between your details. Massive one. I know that there are people who get really upset if you use the wrong sponge. Tell people what the right sponge is. It may have been done before, it may be on YouTube already, but it's not you on YouTube spinning your option on it. Even looking at the Opticoat videos, ingest your personality into how it goes. So look at, maybe you could do the hose off the Opticoat is impressive to anyone. It's phenomenal. Opticoat will put a little cover over your car and you can hose off water. It just beads off. It's mind-blowing to anyone that's ever seen it. You can do your own little video on that. Again, iPhones, great. They've got impressive cameras. Use them. They're all there. You can do reverse video, things like that, showing a little bit of a tour of you have this Tesla. I want to see all the ins and outs of it. I want to see all the different angles, how it goes. Make a little, you can do even on Instagram, a 15-second video of just how the light is reflecting off the car. Anything like that that's going to get people excited about what you're doing is phenomenal. So yeah, that's basically what I'd cover on the homepage. I do love that this contact us is in a box and it stands out as right here, let's get us. I would definitely, again, H1 tags. This one I think looks like it should be a H1. No, it's actually a strong and a big one. So making that, if that's the big one, make that a strong H1 tag, make this a secondary H2. Those heading tags ranked in a value of importance are going to give you an awesome opportunity. So as far as Google, if I want to Google for Newcastle, it's 40 degrees here, so excuse my typing. So if I want to search for Newcastle detailing, it's going to come up pretty close because you can see Blake's paying for ads on AdWords here. Depending on how this is going to go as well, Google wants you to pay their advertising bills. So to get up here is going to cost you a lot more because you're right at the top. Getting down here, not so much, because you're not really going to get clicked as much. So you want to be coming up here as far as where your rankings are. If I go down, coming up 10th is a mean feat already. So with little options that we can do to tweak that, it'll be going gangbusters. One thing that I would look at doing is actually boosting out this text here. This will come up in your builder as your meta description. That is a great place that you've actually got room to sell your customer. If they're searching for you, a lot of people will find you on Facebook. Will find you from a mate who shared a picture of a mate's car who got cleaned. So that's a great way to get that referral. Looking at doing bonuses like a sharing referral, a like and share campaign on Facebook, a like and share campaign on Instagram are going to get you a big buzz of word of mouth. Do a discount off for Christmas, like and share, someone wins a car detail. If you can get your page engaged, it's phenomenal. Obviously start with something small, even if it's a car care pack. Someone's going to want that for Christmas. Do a giveaway of something like that rather than going a high-end cleaning product. Gives you a little bit of a boost. And again, that social sharing is going to do great guns for getting you out there as well, because you're actually reaching the next step. So it's the 8 degrees of separation, where you've got someone else's friend and they have someone else's friend and then they have someone else's friend. You actually get a lot more people seeing your work and seeing what you do. So that's one way that I would have a look at as well. Having some text in here though that actually gives you more of an overview, more of a sales pitch as well, so that you've actually got the sneaky little text and things on these. The headings that we've got are great. Possibly look at even putting that want shine, feeling dirty, want that new car feeling without the new car price tag. Pop that in your meta description. That coming up in there, I'm going to look at that and go, oh, that's a bit clever. Yeah. And click that because it's a level of interest. Also, I'm assuming this is in the site name in Squarespace. You can definitely edit this as far as Newcastle Premium Detailing / Envious Car Care. People who are searching for Envious Car Care already know who you are, already know what you do. So targeting that next step below them is what you want to do. You want to actually find the people who don't know that you are there yet, but want to see that relevance as well. So I would definitely look at updating that, making it a little bit more obvious as well. Like for example, this one, Car Lovers Detail Plus Professional Car Detailing / Newcastle. It's got all of the bases covered in that text there. So I definitely look at updating that. But yeah, overall, I love the look of the site. I think it's very high end. I think it is speaking to that premium market. Again, I think the more photos, the better, because you are in something that's a before and after. So seeing that before and after is what sells people as well. Once they get to know you and see your passion, it's an easier sell. So you have to actually take the advantage and make your website show off your passion before they contact you, because that is what's actually going to switch them on to contacting you. So you basically want to create that demand, that obsession, that I need this in my life, before you actually start there. So the main thing would be actually working out exactly who the target market is, what specifically you are targeting. If it's gearheads who know full on what they're doing, that's easy done. You've got the bits and pieces. Muscle cars, when you clean a muscle car, everyone wants to see that. Things like that. Sharing the photos are going to give you the greatest impact and allow you to spread it out a bit more. So I think if you are getting quite a few leads, especially off AdWords and things, another thing that I would look at would be Facebook advertising. You can get quite targeted in Facebook advertising. So you could actually pinpoint down to males 30 to 40 in the Newcastle area who like Top Gear. It's going to give you a reasonably good indication of people who like Top Gear. Put a special offer on there. You can actually do a offer post or anything like that. Do something interesting on that aspect. There's lots and lots of potential from there as well. So there's lots of ways. There's a few things that I would just do straight off the bat on the website. Just pumping those out, I think, is going to give you a big difference with search engine rankings to start with. And I think that once you actually start implementing those on your building in that blog, redoing those, sharing those posts on Facebook as a link back to the blog, you're going to see a lot more traction as far as people want to dig through and look at the next one and look at the next one after that. And that's going to give you a lot more relevance for search engines as well. Anyway, I hope that was useful, and if you'd love to get your own strategy session where we'll work through your website and your marketing plan and how we can grow your own business, be sure to hit me up in the comments below and we can get chatting. Until next time, see you later.